Good evening. Welcome to Food for Thought. It's the 11th of May, 2020. My name is Pastor Clint Lange with Hillside Community Church in 100 Mile House, BC, Canada. Well, I just want to welcome all of you who are tuning in on the internet out there. I just had a couple of thoughts tonight that I'd like to share with you. Now, with the COVID-19 crisis, we've seen the hammering of the stock market with people losing money left, right, and center. And nobody's sure exactly how this is going to go, how it's going to end, and how all of our portfolios for retirement, etc., are going to look at the end of this crisis. Will it come back? How will it come back? Or are we simply going to lose a whole bunch of our investments? Well, we don't know the answers to these things, but I can tell you this much. That if your focus is on the here and now, which most people, I guess, they're thinking a lot about the here and now because look at our school systems. They've pretty much thrown God out of our school systems and have told us that we're all product of chance through millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. So really, you're just a product of the cosmos, and although there appears to be order to everything, it's really not order, it's in your mind. So really, there's really no, you take that to the logical conclusion, there's really no point in anything except to enjoy the moment that you're here. So why not just live it up? Store up what you can and enjoy what you can. Well, that's the product of this world's thinking. But when the bottom falls out of the bucket and the water pours out the bottom of the bucket, what's left when you're only living for the moment? The Bible has a very clear message about this kind of thinking, and I think, I would like to propose a different way of looking at things from what the world has trained, I guess, us to look at things through, the lens that they look through. I'd like you to follow with me through a different lens. Now, there is nothing for sure. You don't know from one day to the next whether you're going to live, whether you're going to come down with some terminal disease, whether you're going to get in a car wreck and die. You have no idea. So when you're putting stock on today and you're taking a chance that this is how it goes, I think it's probably wise to weigh out everything in light of a different possibility. Well, what does the Bible say? The Bible says that nothing is arbitrary. This is not a product of chance. Everything that we look at here is not a product of chance. The fact that I'm talking to you on a computer shows that there is intelligent design out there. And, the fact that our technology, you would never say our technology is a product of chance. The recording equipment and everything was designed by somebody. For me to say, given enough zeros in time, that biology would have created in the cosmos a human being who would create this, that's absurd. It's like saying this computer screen that I'm looking at and all the technology that I'm looking at came together by chance without any kind of preconceived planning. People would call us idiots if we went to university and said that that's a product of chance. But look at the mechanism behind it, the creativity of the human beings that created this. Where did that all come from? Is that just a product of evolutionary chance? The fact that we can reason, that you're listening to me right now and you're weighing what I'm saying, all the processes, the complicated processes that are going on, absolutely impossible that this is a product of natural selection and biological evolution. It's impossible. You can't just add enough zeros onto the formula to make it a possibility. That it just is not possible. So what does God say about people putting stock in the here and now? I'd like to talk to you about that. In Matthew, actually in Luke, I'm going to read you a passage out of Luke. Luke chapter 12, starting with verse 13. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brothers to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Who appointed me a judge or an arbitrator between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." And then he told this parable. The ground of a certain rich man produced a good crop. He thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." And then he said, "This is what I will do. I will tear down my barns, and I'll build bigger ones. And there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of good things laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this night your very life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with everyone who stores up things for himself, but is not rich toward God." Wow. Talk about a reality check there. Like, we can do all the planning we want with our retirement savings, etc. And something could happen inside of this complicated body of ours. I mean, the chemical processes that are going inside of there are fine-tuned and they all work together. It's a miracle. But something could shut down, something could short-circuit, and you could be on the floor in the next 5 minutes. You could be on the floor staring up at the ceiling, gasping for your last breath. There is no guarantee. Every single human being has to face that day. So if you're living for the here and now, but not considering your eternal well-being and not considering God in the whole picture, the Bible says that probably it's a good idea that you should consider what your Creator has to say and how to run your business and how to look at your life. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. If you look at it that way, there is going to be a reckoning day where you're going to stand before God and He's going to say, "What have you done with what I've given you?" And what are you going to say? "Oh, well, I just thought that, that I was just a product of evolution, therefore I wasn't accountable to anyone or anything, really, except for my society. But then again, society can change." You're not going to be saying that. You're going to be bowing before God and saying, "I'm so sorry, I was foolish. I didn't consider what you had to say." Well, your possessions aren't going to save you. Your stocks in the stock market are not going to save you. Your new truck in your driveway, or your Mercedes, or your Honda Civic, or whatever it is that you have stored up for yourself is not going to save you at the end. We are so confident that we're in control, but we're not. We are not in control, people. God is in control, and each one of us has a day where we will stand before Him and have to give an account for what He has given to us. Can we say, "Lord, I've taken what you've given to me and I've used it for your glory"? Or will we be saying, "Well, I took what you had and I used it for myself, and I didn't give you thanks, and I didn't give you glory for the gift that you gave me in the life that you've given me"? I pray that that's not the answer that we come up with. Yeah, don't stock up here. Here might just disappoint you. Stock up in heaven, where rust and vermin will not destroy, and thieves will not break in and steal. This is food for thought. Have a good night.